Hello, this is the mic off the top of my camera. I cannot find my lavalier mic. It could be a little bit echoey. Please don't give me any shit in the comments. Okay. Oh, by the way, look at the clean office. I'm so excited. My office hasn't been this clean in months, so we're pumped. I've been talking about what we're gonna talk about today for a while, but I've not actually sat down and done a piece of content where I'm like, do not niche down. Do this instead. So that's what this video is. And also we're gonna do like an update on me and my brand and this YouTube channel, kind of all rolled into one because it all has to do with ditching the niche. And every time I do a video about niche, people are like, it's niche. No, we're gonna ditch the niche. It rhymes. It rhymes. We would have to say dishing the niche, and that's not a thing, so it's niche today. When I first started in business, but also on the tube here, you know, on the YouTubes, basically the only advice was pick a niche, go hard, you will grow. And I'm not saying that's completely incorrect or that I would completely change that now. I'm ditching the niche, and I think you should, in the traditional sense. See, the way that most people would explain niching down or your niche would be the specific topic you're going to cover on your channel, on your content, whatever. And by the way, this advice is good whether you're creating content here on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, like I don't care. We're in like a new age of niching. And it's not that anymore. It's not a specific topic, like only one thing you can talk about, because that boxes you in, like literally puts you in a little teeny tiny box with the algorithm, with your audience, and for you and your content. And let me tell you right now that being boxed in is not fun. Like, no sorry, Bob. Niching to one specific topic creates an audience who will only watch one thing from you. They're not gonna watch other things from you. They don't care about you. They care about what you are talking about. And that's the problem we're kind of trying to fix. When you're only one thing to people on YouTube, you're only good for one thing, then when you create something that they might need, but something that's like a little off kilter, they're gonna dip out, they're gonna leave, they're not gonna watch it. And that is what the traditional sense of niching does. And that's what I'm trying to fix. Now, I've done some work on this, y'all know. Last year I was like, oh, my channel's dying. And it was. And I fixed it. And a lot of the way I fixed it was with this, but I want to lean into this even more. And that is to like really ditch the traditional niche. Dr. Seuss come at me. Did you know, by the way, I share a birthday with Dr. Seuss? Yeah, and it's not fun. It wasn't fun when I was little. And on every year, on my birthday, the cafeteria would serve green eggs and ham. And that's disgusting. So if your birthday isn't the same as Dr. Seuss's birthday, count your blessings. Anywho, we're gonna ditch that traditional niche and we're gonna focus more on the who. Now this is still niching down because here's the difference, okay? Let me just explain the difference. If you come on YouTube and you start a channel and you don't have some kind of parameter, you don't have some kind of guardrails, you're just bowling without the little things up. You're gonna go in the gutter, you're gonna miss pins, you're hardly ever gonna hit a strike. I don't know, maybe everybody's not as bad at bowling as I am. But if you go without any borders or any parameters, then you're just gonna be floundering around. You're not going to have any direction. You're not gonna know what you need to do. People aren't gonna know why they need to care about you. So you do have to have some parameters. But instead of the parameters being the topic, it needs to be the person. So instead of me sitting here and being like, I'm only ever going to talk about YouTube. I'm only ever gonna talk about how to be a creator on YouTube, or I'm only ever gonna talk about digital products or affiliate marketing. I am more focused on who wants to watch my channel, who do I want to attract, who do I want to care about my content, who are the people behind the scenes who want to watch my stuff. That's what I care about, because that opens the lid on that box that was normally boxing me in. It gives me creative freedom to be like, oh, I want to talk about this. Does it still apply to this person? Yes. Okay, awesome. It gives my audience a reason to come back. I didn't just fix their problem so now they can leave. They actually want to watch me and hang out with me and come back and like watch my videos. And honestly, it's just way more fun that way, because because you can then create whatever you want to create within that boundary. So where you were before stuck over here in this little tiny box based on the topic that you wanted to talk about, you're now over here in this really big box based on the who. So I said a second ago, I kind of wanted to use this as like an update on me, on my brand, on my channel. And I feel like this is a good point for me to be like, okay, this is what this means for me specifically. Is that Gilmore Girls paused on my TV? Yes, it is. Mind your business. Okay, so for me specifically, a couple of things. One, I feel like my true personality wasn't always coming across on camera. And that's really hard because, trust me, I am extra. Like I am extra. I'm constantly cracking jokes. I'm constantly like flying all over the place at 100 miles an hour. And if you have ever seen me speak on stage, you know this. Like that is my personality through and through. And it's very hard for me to sit down and do like talking head videos and show my personality. Like I feel like, yeah, I can crack jokes here and there, or I can say things, but it's super hard because I'm just spitting information at you. And that has really been bugging me lately. Like, how can I make sure that my personality comes across on camera? And I still don't think I figured that out. But I think that ditching the niche will help. And so, backing up a little bit, my channel and my brand has went through a metric poop ton of iterations, right? So when I started here on YouTube, I was like the tech girl in the business world. So business, tech, and that mostly meant systems and things like that. And then I kind of switched from that to YouTube specific content, like how to grow on YouTube, how to gain more subscribers, that kind of thing. And then from there, I broadened back out to like more like full marketing. And then I kind of niched back into passive income. And I mean, that's all been in the course of like 6 years, but that has been what my channel has been forever. And so from the very beginning of this channel, the person watching is the business owner, is the creator, is the person who wants to be the business owner or the creator, is the person who's fed up with their corporate job and wants to do something to get them out of that. That is the person watching this channel. That's probably you watching right now. And if it's not, correct me below in the comments. I'd love to know, but I'm pretty sure I have a solid handle on who my audience is here. And so going forward, instead of being so topical, so like, oh, I'm going to talk about passive income, or I'm going to talk about YouTube, or I'm going to talk about this, I really want to just make sure that I create content that is helpful and entertaining and informational and relatable to you, to the people who've watched this channel from the beginning, to the business owners, to the creators, to the wannabe business owners and creators, to the people who are stuck in corporate and are watching videos on YouTube, like praying that they can figure this out one day because they hate their job so much. Like the people who want to live life differently, the people who want to live life on their own terms. I've kind of floundered between like phrases I want to use or whatever, but basically what it comes down to is that I'm really passionate about what I do and what I teach and what I talk about, because I think it sucks that somebody dreads Monday. And I've been there. I've done that. I've got the t-shirt, right? I think it sucks. And I think it sucks that somebody is stuck in a corporate job that they absolutely hate and they can't find a way out. I think that like happiness is living a life that you want to live on your own terms, that you're living a life that you love, that you're doing what you love, you know? And so those things kind of all together are the message that I'm always trying to get across. When I teach you about digital products, it's because I want you to be able to create digital products that make you passive income or a side hustle income or whatever, so that you can get closer to your goal. But digital products isn't the only way to do that. Living life on your own terms, or living the life you want to live, is different for every person. Like that may mean just having the perfect job for you, and that's okay. It may mean getting to travel the world, or living the laptop lifestyle, or having passive income, or doing a service, or having Airbnbs. Like it may mean a ton of things based on who you are. And so my biggest thing is just really niching down and getting in front of the person, right? Like the person who wants to live life on their own terms, who wants to love their life, who wants to live a life they love, who wants to have time freedom and availability to live the life that they've always dreamed of. And so you likely won't see a huge change on this channel, But for me, it's all in how I'm thinking about the content I want to create. Like, what does that content look like? And something I've kind of realized and come up with in the last little bit is not only do we need content pillars where, okay, so here's the who we're going to talk to, here's kind of the categories, if you will, of what we're going to talk about on this channel. So again, we're not flying off the rails, but there's also like pillars of styles of content that I think each channel and creator needs to have to be successful and to also grow on the platform. Because if you're just one-dimensional, you're not going to grow. And if you're all over the place, you're not going to grow. So I feel like there's kind of a combination of like the who at the top, and then your content pillars, and then within those content pillars, different styles of content that go in that. So this is like the behind the scenes, they're just like us kind of content. And y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, like in People Magazine, it's like celebrities are just like us. As a creator, in whatever format you're a creator, showing the behind the scenes, showing that you're just like the people trying to watch you or like what they want to be is really important. And then on that same note, you've got the content that kind of puts you in that role model situation. They want that life you live. They want that business you have. They want that day you just showed them. And while you're not like literally stepping them through the how-tos of how to get it, you're showing them what's possible. And that's really important because as a role model, that's exactly what you do. And of course, you've got informational content, and honestly, not every niche will have informational content because, you know, there's vlog or lifestyle niches that aren't sitting here like teaching people things. But for the most part, you can go behind the scenes, you can be a role model, and then you can also be a teacher. So information is super powerful. And then you want to create community building content. Content that keeps your community in touch, content that keeps your community like there, that keeps them wanting to come back for your next videos, that keeps them wanting to watch even if they don't give a flying fart about what the video is about. Example, I use Peter McKinnon as an example all the time. You're gonna get tired of this, but like I love his content and I love him as like the human he is and how real he is and how, you know, how just fun he is, right? And I've said this before, but I don't give a flying fart. I don't give 2 flying farts. I don't give half a flying fart about the old truck he bought or the cars that he's obsessed with or like F1, is that what it's called? Like the really fast cars that he was recently filming. Anyway, I don't care about any of that. Not even remotely care, okay? But just this morning, he dropped a video where it literally was like, the thumbnail was like a picture of his hands dirty, and it was like, I've been building something. And it was basically just a fun compilation of him and the guy he's helping him rebuild a truck or a car or something, and like the process. And I watched every minute of it. And I don't care. I don't care about the subject. What I do care about though is him and his storytelling style. And just like knowing him as a person because he's one of my favorite creators. Casey Neistat is another example of this. I also give -2 flying farts about a boosted board or an electric bicycle or Casey Neistat going and surfing in New York City or where he lives for that matter. I don't care, but I love to watch his content and I love to be part of his community. And so that's the kind of content you need to create so that your community is like, oh, I want to keep coming back, even if that video is not necessarily like the perfect thing I wanted to watch. So I'm gonna ditch the traditional niche. Oh, that's too bright, hold on. I'm ditching the traditional niche and we're going for more of the who. Who do I care watches my content? Who do I want to talk to? What do they want to see? And incorporating my content pillars and these different styles of videos to kind of make that happen. And let me tell you, my analytics already show that that works in some way. So a lot of times people only look at their like view count as the analytic that matters. Like, well, this one got more views than this one, so it was a better video. And that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes the better video is the one that your subscribers watch more than non-subscribers, or the one where people stayed around longer than this other video, right? But the one that gets picked up by YouTube may be the one where they didn't stay around as long. And there's this cool little metric where YouTube shows you videos where people stuck around longer in the intro of the video and like the group of videos where people didn't stick around as long. And all of the videos, every last video that is in that people stuck around longer in these videos category is a video where I started it off with more of a conversation, with less just like spitting information at you, with more of like, let's talk about this, less, you know, topic heavy and more community heavy. And so I can tell you that this works already. All right. So I'm stepping off my soapbox. That is my rant for the day. I think we need to ditch the niche. I think we need to ditch the traditional sense of the niche. And I think as creators, we will be better off for it because the chains will be loosened. We can create more types of content. Our people will be able to watch more types of content. And I'm really excited to kind of make this shift on my channel. Again, you may not even notice it, but I will. And that's what's important. So just final thought. If you have been struggling with like, I don't know how to niche down. I don't know how to niche down. Everybody needs to tell me to niche down. Everybody tells me to niche down, which I do too. As a creator on this platform, on TikTok, on Instagram, I want you to think more about the who and less about the what. And I think that will help you because it'll enable you to widen the category. Because let's say you're like, oh, I love tech, but I also love farming. Right? Like, I don't know, two very different industries. So maybe you think about the who, and it's like, okay, the who is the person who wants to start their own farm or buy a little bit of land or like whatever, right? And then tech can be incorporated into that for that person. You're not going to sit here and review like the wireless go-to system because that's not relevant to them. But will you talk about that like thing you got for your tractor that's like a piece of tech that helps it GPS where to go? Yes, right? So think about the who and fit the content into that who instead of trying to fit everything into one specific topic. Okay, that's all. Bye.